Irish people love their Triton showers, so it may come as surprising that we're asking you to get out of the shower! Naturally, being a Triton shower, you won't want to, and so we're gently reminding you to save water by taking the Triton 5-minute challenge. So, towels at the ready? You'll feel as good when you get out of the shower as you did when you were in it. Triton, for a cleaner conscience.
The Triton Showers National Rally Championship headed deep into the southwest as the 8-round all-asphalt series was to be decided on an epic itinerary of tests along the breathtaking Mizenhead Peninsula. As the 150 crews, hundreds of volunteers and thousands of fans thronged upon West Cork, their thoughts still remained with Kerry co-driver Damien Fleming, who tragically lost his life in a freak accident on the Fastnet Stages Rally. Damien was a familiar face on the stages, a passionate competitor who had competed the length and breadth of Ireland in an endless array of competitive rally cars. The 37-year-old had started over 150 events since 2006 and had built himself a reputation as one of Ireland's leading navigators. From Ford Escorts to Honda Civics, Mitsubishi Evos and WRC spec Subarus, it didn't take Damien long to start racking up class honours and top 10 results in a real mix of machinery. Damien could call himself a rally winner after picking up Banna Beach honours alongside Stephen McCann in 2015, the start of a strong in-car partnership over the next few years. His time with the late Johnny Traynor and Class 13 frontrunner Raymond Conlon ensured Damien experienced some of rallying's most thrilling drives. What stands out through Damien's remarkable rallying repertoire is the variety of cars, drivers and classes he competed in. He simply lived for his love of rallying. Damien was taken far too soon, and we all looked forward to seeing him swap seats as he prepared to drive his recently acquired X-Works Nissan Micra in competition next year. The rallying stalwart left us with plenty of memories, and as we reflect on them, our hearts go out to those closest to Damien and those left affected by last month's tragedy. It was Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan who set the early National Rally Championship pace last time out in Clare. Their Volkswagen Polo R5 looked uncatchable when it built a strong 7.1 second lead after 3 stage wins. Josh Moffett and Keith Moriarty weren't going to let the rally slip out of their hands without a fight though, bouncing back with 2 fastest times and cutting Devine's lead to 1.5 seconds. Moffett had switched back to his refurbished Hyundai i20 R5 and looked ready to overcome Devine's dominance for the first time since May's Cavan Stages Rally. The rally was halted after Clare's 6th test, with Daniel Cronin finishing 3rd behind Devine and Moffett. Callum Devine and Noel O'Sullivan's 3rd National Rally win on the bounce had put them in a prime position to snatch Josh Moffett's 3rd Triton Showers title from his grasp. Earlier this year, victories on the circuit of Kerry, Cavan Stages Rally and Ravensrock Rally had given Moffett a great opportunity to become only the 3rd driver to secure 3 National Rally Championships in a row, equaling records set by Declan Boyle and Niall Maguire. But Devine's dominance through the second half of the season has brought him level on points with Moffett. There's nothing between the two friendly foes when their 2 dropped scores are considered. 8 epic stages along West Cork's Mizenhead would decide what has been a compelling championship battle between Ireland's 2 fastest rally crews on Sunday. Starting the Fastnet Stages Rally just behind the championship contenders is local ace Daniel Cronin. He'll be eyeing up a strong result on his home event that would steal 3rd place in the standings from Donegal's Declan Boyle. Seated just behind Motorsport Ireland Rally Academy hotshots Patrick O'Brien and Eamon Kelly will aim to end their seasons on a high. It's Skoda versus Volkswagen in this bid for next generation bragging rights. Modified frontrunner Eddie Doherty completes what is a spicy top 10 of Rally 2 machinery. Conor Murphy, Declan Gallagher and Chris Armstrong lead the 2-wheel drive contingent, while Tim Flood has an excellent opportunity to seal the National Rally Championships Mark II trophy as well as Class 13. Flood would have to fend off John Warren's McHale livery Toyota Corolla in one of Fastnet's finely poised class deciders, so buckle up, this is going to be a title decider not to be missed.
We're here in Bantry for the last round of the Triton Showers National Rally Championship. This is the Fastnet Rally. The battles are really heating up today across the classes. It all comes down to today. There are 3 classic stages here all around the area of Mizenhead.
Winner takes all. Yeah, it sure is, and I suppose the stages and the weather today is going to play a big part in that. Like, it's hard to know what the weather's going to do. The forecast has changed really all week and the stages out there are super tricky and super fast. So,
Callum Devine, good morning, Callum. You're a long way from home.
Jeez, I am a long way from home.
How long did it take you to come down? 7-8 hours?
It took a bit longer than that actually, because there was an accident on the way to the run. So I left at 1:30. I was down here at 11:30. So that's not good, but sure, we're here.
Hopefully you have something to celebrate on the road on the way up tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Are you looking forward to the local one?
Yeah, can't wait. It's great to have it back in Bantry. Very excited. So yeah, it's looking like it's cleared up and everything this morning. So yeah, really nice stages. So hopefully we can be competitive today, because a lot of quick lads. I'm like sandwiched in between Billy Combe and award winners, 2 in front, 2 behind. So we'll just see. We'll give it our best, see how it goes. And
first time in R5,
yeah, first time four-wheel drive, first time in R5, first time left-hand drive. So yeah, we've a lot to learn here this weekend.
No pressure though.
No pressure. That's the thing, and that's the reason we came here. It's really to get a test for Galway next year, not head in next year and have a big, massive thing like to wish for. But looking forward to it. Not expecting that, and if I can compete with the modified cars where I was at, I'd be happy. But no, looking forward to it. Nerves are there, all right. But look, that's bound to happen.
It's been a while right now, but we're back out now, thank God. So we'll try and get through the day and see how it goes.
You always go well down here. Well, you go well everywhere, but particularly well down here.
It's going to be tough this morning, you know, decisions or tyre decisions, like. But look, we don't want to do nothing silly here today. We want to get through it. There's a lot of work on them stages and try and get her to the hotel here this evening. That's the main plan today. Like, anything else comes after that, it'll be a bonus.
Arriving at the start line of Fastnet's opening stage, the head-to-head title fight between Josh Moffett and Callum Devine had already encountered a split decision. Playing it safe, Moffett had opted to bolt 4 wet tyres to his trusty Hyundai i20, while Devine was feeling brave enough to go for slicks. Defending champion Moffett was the first to complete stage 1. It didn't take him long to realise Fastnet's crews were in for a mighty challenge on these slippery southwest roads. Moffett's Hyundai stopped the clock at 8 minutes and 54.8 seconds. The recently crowned Irish tarmac champion muscled his Volkswagen Polo R5 through the 15.8km Mizenhead test, but his on-the-limit attack was needed just to stay in touch with the early rally leaders. The West Cork roads were nowhere near dry enough for Devine's slick tyres. He knew their disastrous choice of rubber could well have ended his title hopes. As captivating as the championship battle was proving to be, there was more to the Fastnet Stages Rally than the top 2. Daniel Cronin set off like a rocket in his Polo R5. The Bantry boy sent it on his slippery local lanes, beating Moffett and Devine to set stage 1's benchmark time. Cronin headed for stage 2 holding a 0.2 second advantage. It was a morning to forget for the Motorsport Ireland Rally Academy crew of Patrick and Stephen O'Brien. Last year's Irish Forestry Rally champions had sampled rallies across Europe throughout 2023, but their asphalt homecoming came to an abrupt end on stage 1. O'Brien's Skoda Fabia R5 rolled off the road. Against all odds, Callum Devine was the fastest man to complete Fastnet's second stage. Despite his gripless slicks, Devine braved the shiny tarmac to set a time 0.6 of a second quicker than rally leader Daniel Cronin, but more importantly 3 seconds faster than Josh Moffett. Cronin now held a 2.6 second lead over Moffett, although he knew he was fortunate not to pick up a puncture after clipping a rock near the start of the 9km test. After grabbing an early lead over Devine, Moffett was perhaps a bit too cautious in stage 2's follow-up, but he still had 8.8 seconds in hand over the Derry driver. The Skoda Fabia R5 of Eddie Doherty and Tom Murphy was the 4th fastest car over the demanding Mount Gabriel test. Flying on their R5 debut, they held a 5.8 second gap over Cal McCarthy, whose Citroen C3 Rally 2 picked up a puncture on its way to the 5th fastest time. Jason McSweeney was down in 6th after putting half of his Skoda. John O'Dugan set the 7th fastest time on stage 2, taking an early 2.1 second lead in the modifieds. The Toyota started of Declan Gallagher and the similar Ford Escort Mark II of Conor Murphy were within touching distance just behind. Stage 3 was all about Cal McCarthy and Eric Calnan, who blitzed the Mount Kidd test in their Citroen, going up against an in-form Daniel Cronin and the title-contending duo of Josh Moffett and Callum Devine. McCarthy somehow managed to find 9.1 seconds over his Rally 2 rivals on the 15km stage. The sublime effort balanced out their Citroen's puncture on the preceding stage to bring McCarthy and Calnan within 3.3 of the top 3. Daniel Cronin and Donncha Burke once again bettered Moffett and Devine to complete Fastnet's opening loop with a 4.1 second rally lead. Could Cronin keep them behind on the next 5 stages as they got up to speed on his home event? Devine's Stage 2 success proved to only be a flash in the pan as his nightmarish start to the Fastnet continued. He lost a further 5.7 seconds to Moffett on Stage 3 to find himself a hefty 14.5 seconds down with 5 stages to go. Oh, what he would do to revisit his tyre selection earlier in the morning. Eddie Doherty's Dream R5 debut encountered a taste of reality on Stage 3 when a stall on the start line cost him a chunk of time and 4 places in the Fastnet standings. Steve Wood and Eamon Kelly were 2 of the drivers to capitalise on Doherty's error, jumping up an incredible 7 and 4 places respectively. Jason McSweeney's run in the top 6 fell by the wayside on Stage 3 when his Skoda slid off the road. He lost over a minute but remained grateful to the spectators who pulled him out and back onto the road. Another man to taste reality was John O'Dugan, who crashed his Mark II Escort over Mount Kidd's flying finish. Dugan had been flying on the stage before to lead the modifieds, but that honour was now in the hands of Declan Gallagher, who revelled clocking up the mountain miles aboard his rear-wheel drive Starlet. Kerry's Conor Murphy lost 10.5 seconds to Gallagher on Stage 3 as he rued getting stuck behind Keith Lyons' sickly Fiesta for most of the stage. Chris Armstrong was now eyeing up Murphy with 8.2 seconds separating the 2 escorts.
3 stages down here now at the Fastnet Rally. Local man Daniel Cronin is leading the way. We're going to grab a word with some of the crews. Hi Callum, so talk to us about your tyre choices there for the first 3 stages.
Hi, my tyre choices wasn't good, didn't I? No. It wasn't good, so no, look, yeah, we went on a soft slick, so we did, and thought the stage maybe would have been a bit drier, but yeah, we came to learn it was not like that, so it was quite saturated.
So Josh, you've had a really good start to the day. You're just 4.2 behind Daniel. How are you finding it?
Yeah, good so far. Daniel's obviously pushing very hard there, so I suppose for us, more importantly, we're sort of concentrating on Callum, and at the minute we have a nice lead over him with 14.5 seconds, so yeah, it's between me and Callum for the championship, so that's our main focus today.
You've had a really good first 3 stages there. How did you find it this morning?
Yeah, really, I'm you know, a few, you know, it's slippy like, but we're driving comfortable, so hopefully we can keep it up now. I know things when they dry out, these boys will get a lot quicker, like, so we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, keep it clean and tidy, and yeah, so just see what happens.
Connor, a great day's rallying so far. How are you finding it?
It's good, yeah, it's tricky. Tyre choice is critical in it. Like sometimes it's very abrasive, but then it's very slippy as well, and there's running water, so it's hard to get it right, but we're enjoying it.
So Declan, it's been a tricky few stages this morning. How did you find it?
It's probably been a while since we were out now, and it's hard to get into it when the conditions are like that, but we're happy enough. Like we didn't do nothing silly in the first 2 stages, so if we can continue that now for the next loop, we'll be happy enough, you know.
Craig, you're back to the rear wheel drive today and you're doing really, really well. Tell us about your morning so far.
Yeah, well, we got stage 1 was cancelled, and then stage 2 we had a good run through it. We were, I think, 19th overall, so it's a good time. We're going for the 1600 Challenge Cup as well, so then we're back here on this today because we're to finish out championship in the class, to win the class in 11 hours, so we decided to get this out of the shed for the day and take a rip.
We take a quick break now, as without these advertisers, this show wouldn't be possible. Stage 4 was Callum Devine's first chance to show what he could do on equal tyres to his Fastnet rivals. 14.5 seconds behind title rival Josh Moffett. This ought to be the start of Devine's mission impossible if he hoped to overturn the odds in the title-deciding winner-takes-all showdown between two of Ireland's best. Devine completed the mizzen head test 12 seconds faster than his attempt earlier that morning, but as he upped his speed on what was to become a really greasy stage, so too did Moffett, who set his first fastest time of the rally 0.7 seconds quicker than Devine. The Monaghan man was really putting the pressure on his title rival and in turn edged closer to rally leader Daniel Cronin, whose advantage was now down to 2.2 seconds. Fastnet's challenging terrain and October's mixed conditions were creating a blockbuster rally with 4 different stage winners through the opening 4 tests. Chris Armstrong set his first fastest time in two-wheel drive to move 16.6 seconds ahead of Conor Murphy, to reduce Declan Gallagher's lead to 6.5 seconds. Fastnet's Mount Gabriel test may have been the shortest of the day, but it was turning out to be Callum Devine's ace card when he really needed it. Devine and O'Sullivan stole 6.6 seconds from Moffett and Moriarty through the 9-kilometre mountain pass to get their championship deciding deficit back down to single digits. Josh Moffett's second fastest time through stage 5 may have cost him time to his Triton Showers championship adversary, but it was enough to move into the rally lead. Daniel Cronin made 2 costly mistakes on Mount Gabriel's downhill section, ending the stage 0.2 seconds behind Moffett on the overall leaderboard. A spellbinding time by Declan Gallagher and Gavin Doherty left their modified compatriots with no answer as they strengthened their grip on two-wheel drive honours. Chris Armstrong was now over 20 seconds behind Modified's benchmark, while Conor Murphy couldn't find any grip at all as his escort slid its way to Modified's third fastest time. The fight between Callum Devine and Josh Moffett continued on stage 6 with 1/10 of a second separating the title protagonists on the 15-kilometre stage. This would have led you to believe there wasn't anything left in the Mount Kidd stage, but amazingly, Daniel Cronin flipped the script one more time. The Volkswagen driver went 1.2 seconds quicker than anyone in what the Bantry boy described as the drive of his life to regain a 1-second lead with 2 more tests to go. After a season driving a Ford Fiesta Rally 3 in the Junior World Rally Championship, Donegal's Eamon Kelly was finding his feet in the family Polo R5. Kelly's best time of the day was rewarded with a move into 4th overall, overcoming what had been a 34-second deficit to Cal McCarthy earlier in the day. Eddie Doherty was continuing his impressive R5 debut in 6th overall, chipping away at McCarthy's 14.5-second advantage. Let's take a look at the class results. After 3 stages, Cahill and Dara Mullins held a 15.4 second lead over Seamus and Daniel O'Donovan, both in Civics. They extended their lead over the second loop of stages and took the class win by over 3 minutes from the O'Donovans. A smaller than usual number took the start in Class 2. After 3 stages, Ryan McHugh and Declan Boyle held a 17.2 second lead from new to class Gareth Deasley and Oisin Joyce in a similar car, with the all-ladies crew of Katie Quinn and Kaz Summers holding third in a Honda Civic. McHugh and Boyle extended their lead to over 37 seconds over Deasley and Joyce after 6 stages. The ladies' crew retired in this loop, allowing Mossy and Megan Costello in their Fiesta Rally 4 into third over 2 minutes further back. They finished in that order, with McHugh and Boyle winning by 41.3 seconds and finishing 16th overall, with the fast-learning Deasley and Joyce in second and the Costellos in third. It was the Lordens who dominated Class 9. After 3 stages, Gary Lorden and Alan O'Farrell in their Civic led Martin Lorden and Aoife Ronan by a slender 1.7 seconds, with Kevin Flanagan and Mark Riley a further 11.9 seconds back in third. The class leaders disappeared on the second loop of stages though, leaving Martin Lorden and Aoife Ronan to hold the class lead after 6 stages, with Flanagan and Riley 20 seconds in arrears. Conor Lappin and Ryan Graham moved up to third in class. The class positions remained the same to the finish, with Lorden and Ronan winning Class 9 by 14.9 seconds from Flanagan and Riley, with Lappin and Graham in third. Cathal Sheridan and Peter Deary in the Nova held a 35.5 second lead after 3 stages from Frank Hurley and Aidan Phelan in the Escort, with Victor Beamish and Susan Beamish also in a Nova in third, just 5.3 seconds further back. The Beamishes set some cracking times over the second loop to overhaul Hurley and Phelan and close to within 11 seconds from the Monaghan crew. They closed the gap further to 3.8 seconds, but Sheridan and Deary held on for the class win from the Beamishes, with Hurley and Phelan taking third in class. In Class 11F, after 3 stages, Aaron Brown and Derry Long in the Civic held a slender 6.6 second lead over Etienne O'Sullivan and John Spillane also in a Civic, with Mark O'Leary and Cliff Desmond in the Starlet just a half a second back in third. Brown and Long extended their lead to 23.4 seconds over the second loop of stages, with O'Leary and Desmond moving into second in class. Over the final 2 stages, Brown and Long held on for the class win. However, O'Sullivan and Spillane overtook O'Leary and Desmond to retake second in class, with O'Leary and Desmond not too far behind. In Class 11R, Craig Rahal and Connor Smith made the switch back to the Escort, having previously used a Rally 4 Fiesta in the Forestry. After 3 stages, he had an 18.2 second lead over fellow Cavan crew of Ben McIntyre and Anthony MacDonald, with Fergus Hurley and Eric Dean 8.5 seconds further back in third. Rahal and Smith extended their lead over the second loop to 1 minute and 17 over McIntyre and MacDonald, with Bob Moran and Owen Collins moving into third. The first and second in class positions remained the same to the finish, but Hurley and Dean overtook Moran and Collins over the final 2 stages to take third in class. Rahal and Smith took the class victory by 1.5 minutes and finished a fine 15th overall in a 1600cc car. Class 12 featured an event-long battle between regular Border Championship competitors who made the long journey south to Bantry. After 3 stages, Ryan McArdle and Conor Maloney in the Escort held a slender lead of 3.2 seconds over the Escort of James Cassidy and Donal Lennon, with Justin Smith and Gregory McQuillan also in an Escort, a further 1.8 seconds back in third. Over the second loop of 3 stages, Smith and McQuillan overtook Cassidy and Lennon to hold second in class. The 2023 Border Rally champions could not catch McArdle and Maloney, who held on to take the class win by 8.4 seconds, with Cassidy and Lennon a slender 3.5 seconds further back in third. John Warren and Ruth Ann O'Connor led Class 13 from start to finish. Their nearest rival for class in the Triton Championship, Tim Flood and Anthony Smith, were just 7.8 seconds back in second, despite engine issues after 3 stages, with Aidan Burke just 0.4 of a second back in third. Burke and Doheny overtook Flood and Smith on the second loop of 3 stages before retiring on the last loop. Flood and Smith held on to take second in class. The class win and 10th overall went to Warren and O'Connor by 38.8 seconds from Flood and Smith. In Class 14, Declan Gallagher and Gavin Doherty, having a shakedown before his local harvest rally in 3 weeks, held a 14-second lead over Conor Murphy and Sean Collins, with Chris Armstrong and Darren Curran also escort mounted a further 8.2 seconds back in third. Over the second loop, Armstrong and Curran overtook Murphy and Collins to hold second in class going into second service. Armstrong and Curran, though, retired on the last loop. Gallagher and Doherty took the Class 14 win and 6th overall from Murphy and Collins, who were second in Class 14 and 8th overall. Just 3 crews started in Class 15. After 3 stages, Alan Radford and Josh Radford in their Subaru, led by 14.9 seconds from David Cremin and Johnny O'Shea. They extended their lead over the second loop of stages and took the class win by 13.4 seconds. Class 20 was led from start to finish by Colin Murphy and Don Montgomery in the Impreza, who held a 9.6 second lead after 3 stages from Johnny O'Connor and Mike Breen in the Mirage. Pat and Jonathan Kelly in their Fiesta were a further 27.8 seconds back in third. On the second loop, Murphy and Montgomery extended their lead over O'Connor and Breen. The Kellys retired, leaving husband and wife team of Anthony and Jill Breen in third in class. The positions in fact remained the same to the finish, with Murphy and Montgomery taking the class win and 9th overall from O'Connor and Breen, with Breen and Breen in third. Class 23 is a class dedicated to novice crews. It's an excellent entry-level class for anyone looking to get started in stage rallying. Ronan and Raymond Heaney in the Micra were the only entrants in Class 23 and took the class win. Just 1 crew in Class 17, George Swanton and Larisha Highland, class winners. After Duncan Williams and Guy Weaver retired in service after 3 stages, Patter Walsh and Grace Walsh took the Class 18 win. Dennis Moynihan and Martin O'Brien availed of Rally 2 conditions to take the Class 19 win. And a healthy 12 crews entered in Class 16, the junior category, all except 1 in Honda Civics. After 3 stages, Evan McAvoy and Kieran O'Sullivan held a slender 0.8 seconds from fellow Civic crew of John M. Kennelly and Gary Lombard. Barry McIntyre and Brian Cohen a further 19.5 seconds back. The second loop brought changes in class positions. Ronan Dorian and Jason Teese jumped from 6th in class to 1st in class, while McIntyre and Cohen jumped up to 2nd, with McAvoy dropping to 3rd. However, over the final 2 stages, the positions changed again, with McAvoy and O'Sullivan going back into the class lead, taking the Class 16 win.
Callum, there's just 8.7 seconds between yourself and Josh heading into the last 2 stages. How are you feeling?
It's going to be a tight one for us. A lot to do, but yeah, look, hey, we're going to have a go at it anyway.
Josh, 2 stages to go here and you're 2nd off the lead. It looks like it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, I suppose there's not much in the top 3 there, so look, we're sort of keeping our eye on Callum's times. Like it's him we're fighting for the championship. Obviously, to try and win the rally would be nice too, but Callum's only 8 seconds off us, so he's not making it easy for us.
Daniel, hometown rally, and you're leading by a second. How are you feeling going into the last 2 rounds?
I don't know now. We're hanging on there now, so I'd say we're going to give it our all, but hopefully it's probably unlikely we'll be able to stay ahead of the boys, but we're going to try.
The threat of rain hung overhead as the Triton Showers National Rally Championship contenders left the comforts of their service areas for the final time in 2023. 2 stages, Mizzen Head and Mount Gabriel, would decide this year's National Rally champion. Callum Devine had to find 8.7 seconds over the next 25 kilometres if he was to spoil what had been a near perfect day for his title rival Josh Moffett. Moffett seemed to have the edge on Mizzen Head, sealing the time through the 15.8 kilometre test on both occasions so far. If he made it 3 from 3 on Fastnet's penultimate stage, surely that would be enough to seal his 3rd national crown in a row. Moffett and Moriarty were the first through the coastline challenge, hitting a cloudburst halfway through the stage. Chasing them down the road, Devine and O'Sullivan had to throw caution to the wind. Driving on the edge, they survived the impromptu rain shower to grab a timely stage win. The time difference 3.4 seconds faster than Moffett's Hyundai. With one stage to go, Moffett's advantage was now down to 5.3, the narrowest it had been over Devine all day. For the third stage in a row, the Fastnet Rally lead swapped hands, this time from Daniel Cronin to Josh Moffett. A couple of mistakes by Cronin cost him a couple of crucial seconds to Moffett on stage 7, and he now had to find 9/10 of a second if he was to seal a popular home win. Declan Gallagher and Gavin Doherty continued to hold a sizable lead at the front of the modified pack. They completed Fastnet's final brace of stages in supreme style to seal a 39-second category win and 6th overall aboard their nimble Toyota Starlet. Searing damage for Chris Armstrong's Escort dropped him out of 2nd in modifieds on Fastnet's penultimate test. Conor Murphy and Sean Collins nipped in to seal the runner-up spot, a nice reward for some stylish driving despite a suboptimal tyre choice for Fastnet's second loop of stages. Eddie Doherty pipped Cal McCarthy over Fastnet's final 2 stages to seal 4th overall on his Skoda Fabia debut. McCarthy completed the top 5 as Eamon Kelly and Conor Maughan's impressive run in 4th came to an end on the rally's final stage. The suspense was gripping as crowds gathered along Fastnet's final stage of the 2023 Triton Showers National Rally Championship. Irish tarmac champion Callum Devine had it all to do if he was to clinch an epic championship double, while Josh Moffett knew he was in no position to cruise home and seal his 3rd national championship. 9 slippery kilometres over Mount Gabriel would decide the series spoils. Devine and O'Sullivan may have had a 5.3 second deficit to overturn, but Mount Gabriel had been their strongest stage of the rally, going fastest by 6.6 seconds last time around. It was still all to play for, providing the ultimate final stage championship shootout between Moffett and Devine. Moffett's Hyundai was the first to complete the test, which started in the dry before hitting a treacherously slippery section towards the end. 5 minutes and 3.3 seconds was his benchmark. Could Devine find 5.3 seconds from that? Devine came through Fastnet's 8th and final stage on a charge. He was leaving nothing on the line as the white Currengate Polo scurried through the twists and turns over Mount Gabriel. The time was there, he had dominated the stage throughout the day, but this time he pushed his luck a few metres too far. An overshoot pushed his Polo into a ditch, and the subsequent scramble to get back on the road cost him over 7 seconds. Somehow, Devine and O'Sullivan finished the stage only a couple of seconds down on Moffett, but in the end it was an overshoot that ended their championship hopes on the very last stage. Moffett once again victorious in the Triton Showers National Rally Championship thanks to his 7.4 second advantage over Devine. And to complete their perfect weekend, Josh Moffett and Keith Moriarty picked up the rally win as well, with Daniel Cronin and Donncha Burke's impressive drive spoiled on the same corner that caught out Devine. Cronin's Polo was wedged in the ditch, but fortunately managed to free itself to allow him to complete the Fastnet in 3rd overall and seal 3rd in the championship standings behind Moffett and Devine.
Congratulations! Thank you very much. It was, I suppose, the second half of that stage was very wet in there, so very, very tough. But yeah, look, it's just over the moon after a mixed year. It's nice to finally get the championship. So yeah, we're over the moon.
Well, that is it from us here at the Fastnet Rally, and indeed from the Triton Showers National Rally Championship. Our winner this year is Josh Moffett. Thanks so much for tuning in all year, and we will catch you next year.
What a year of action we've had on the stages of the 2023 Triton Showers National Rally Championship. Thanks a million for watching. We hope you've enjoyed these programmes. See you soon.
Irish people love their Triton showers, so it may come as surprising that we're asking you to get out of the shower! Naturally, being a Triton shower, you won't want to, and so we're gently reminding you to save water by taking the Triton 5-minute challenge. So, towels at the ready? You'll feel as good when you get out of the shower as you did when you were in it. Triton, for a cleaner conscience.